be probably their last March seminar that they do. We're going to probably move them to the September one, and we're going to flip out CA and them together. That way it'd be a little bit easier on them since they're busier than they're busy. They're busy. But they helped us get this club started. They've been good friends of mine for a long time, great friends of the club. They help us out, so real animals.
Sweet.
You been beating up on your partner?
Yes.
He looks gimpy.
Yeah, he is always gimpy.
It's just old age. Actually, he did that on vacation. That didn't have nothing to do with me.
No, that had to do with
know it
some
wasn't a hard
beach
day of
in a
work.
ditch.
Hey,
Hey, come on up here with us.
Down in front. Down in front.
so what do we want to know this year? Trout tournament coming up?
Yeah.
Y'all aren't catching trout?
Where, when, what, how?
Come on, there's trout everywhere.
Dude, I tell you what, I was 5 miles out offshore today and caught one about like this out there in 35 foot of water. Yeah, about like this. That's it. It's like you hear about the one-armed fisherman, he caught a fish that long.
Really, there's trout everywhere. You're not catching them?
I'm trying to tell.
Come on.
We catch them, but they're never big enough to keep.
Really?
We haven't been out in a while.
Well, one thing about it, fish,
Since like
Well,
October.
you gotta go.
you gotta move around because fish of like size stay together, and trout are cannibalistic. They'll eat each other, and I mean that's why Mirror, they've got a series called the TT, the tiny trout, and it's got little specks on it, just like a speckled trout.
I caught one like that.
And as a matter of fact, the biggest trout I ever caught hit a trout about like that, ate it.
This time of year, the big trout are up skinny. You're really big trout. If you guys want to win this tournament, you got to be fishing skinny. And again, just like last year, the biggest trout we're catching, biggest trout I'm catching, they're with the mullet. We pulled one today, 26 inches out of the redfish. Came right out of a school of 200 redfish.
Wow.
So, and again, we were fishing in
What was the
18 inches of water.
Did you catch him on a greenback or what'd you catch him
Yeah,
on?
on a whitebait. Everything's eating whitebait. Last year I was telling you about DOA lures, the white with the chartreuse head. There's so much bait around because it's been so
rolled in
unseasonably
early.
warm that find some whitebait. I mean, that one today ate whitebait that big.
Yeah, but
First question is, where are we going to get the white bait at?
Skyway Bridge is covered.
Is that
I
it?
threw one time this morning and
Nothing
had
on the,
more
nothing on
than
the
I could
flats
eat.
yet? Or
There's a couple of flats.
there is some, but I mean the Skyway is so easy, it's clean, you don't get that grass and all that over there.
south,
South
north,
side.
south
On
side?
the south side, I got it this morning about halfway down. I threw twice and filled up 2 boats.
It was
And he threw once and filled his boat up.
It's really thick. 10-foot 3/8 net, open it up one time and you're done. And there's
if it's real
everything
thick,
in there,
don't let it get to
everything
the
in there,
bottom.
that, from
Good
that
size.
to real big.
Is it on the Skyway or is it on the pier?
On the pier.
It's on the fishing.
On the fishing pier. Yeah,
You
buddy.
have the chunk for 'em, or you just don't?
Yeah, well, what I did, I was marking it, and I went out there. I threw like a couple of times. I was getting about 100 or 200 to throw, and I was like, I'm just going to anchor up, chum it, and get it all in one shot, and that's what I did.
I didn't even jump. I backed up, looked down, went, through the net, done. Didn't even have chump. I got right underneath, kind of in the shadow. It was unbelievable today. It's not always like that, but the bait's at the Sunshine Skyway Fishing Pier.
2
And
weeks
it's
ago.
really thick.
2 weeks ago, you get out there and start chumming it. You get the pinfish and the little pigfish. I mean, you feel that and pull it. You're like, oh God, I wrecked them. And have like, I don't know, 200 or 300 pinfish and pigfish in it. That was special.
That's what they're eating because there's so much bait. The flats are just choked full of bait. I mean, and it's been that way for 3-4 weeks. The big fish want those baits. We're catching trout that are big and fat. The redfish today, all big and fat already. No lean fish at all.
And they'll take the top water plug as well, like a top pup or top dog junior. That Paul Brown that Mirror Lure makes is real good. Just if you got a lot of grass floating and suspended, makes it really tough to work those artificials.
Is that all day or is that just in the morning?
Man, we caught them the other day all day long.
All day?
Down at Sanibel, Billy did really well.
You did better on the trout than I did.
I did good on the redfish, but I was throwing a jig. I was throwing little Johns. King of Little Johns.
This on the South Shore, or y'all fishing other parts, or?
I was fishing DeSoto today. So that's where I've been, and there's been a lot of big fish in DeSoto. A lot of big trout. So somewhere, Will Shook saw one that he claims is probably 35, 36 inches.
Troutzilla.
And Brett Norris saw the same fish on the same edge 2 days later, so he's there. And we ain't caught him yet, so,
I guarantee if there's one, there's more.
yeah.
But
Well,
just,
Terry Russo, Captain Terry Russo sent me a picture of a 31-incher he caught on the South Shore last week with a retired lieutenant colonel from McDill.
remember you telling me about
31
that.
inches. That's retarded.
Yeah, that's a big,
That's
big trout.
retarded.
But when you catch those big fish, take your time with them. And they're kind of puny or whatever you want to call it. They're not very hardy. So, and Mark Nichols told us this, said when you take that fish out of the water, hold your breath. And when you need a breath, put him back in the water so he can catch his breath too. Because those big trout, they're really special.
That's
I mean, that's really a gene that we really need in that pool. And I mean, how cool would it be to go out and, 30-inch trout would be the norm instead of like, this. I mean, how coal would that be?
There's a
Make
lot
sure
of,
you got a good grip on them. I lost a redfish doing that one day.
No. Yeah, put the boga grip on him and put it on your wrist.
there's a lot of big fish coming out of deep water too, 6, 7 foot of water. Areas all over the bay, hold and look for deep grass.
Yeah. Along
Fish it.
along the edge of the clam bar is real good as well. Like he's saying, on that deeper where it drops off on that mottled grass. Another good spot to get trout is between Bishop's Harbor and Manberty Key. That 7 foot flat out there. What do
Do
you
you
fish
see a
there?
big difference in the size of trout from this year to last year?
Unbelievable.
Bigger,
Is it much bigger?
bigger, yeah.
This is the best size-wise trout season I've ever seen.
It's back like it was before the red tide. What you say?
I think it's better. It's the best I've ever seen.
Wow.
I haven't been doing this all that long, but I've never seen the trout fishing like it is right now.
How are you guys fishing all that live bait?
Why?
How?
Just free line. Yeah, just
You can free line it if it starts getting you down in the grass and won't stay down. It keeps going to grass. Put a little cork on it just to keep him
the
up.
water's so clean that, what's that?
The bay water is
The what?
The bay water is
Yeah,
Bay water's
down that
right.
way it's crystal clear.
Bay
bro.
water's
down
right.
there, way down there.
Yeah, around the Skyway area, it's crystal
I
clear.
try not to fish corks if I can help it.
I think get less is more, and right now, you really don't want to use any shrimp on the flats, reason being there's so many pinfish that they'll annihilate it, but if that's all you can get, those trout will take it.
I'd be shocked if that tournament's not won on a big piece of white bait.
What pound leader are y'all using?
I'm dropping down to as light as I can get away with.
20-pound
So
four
you
carp is what I'm using.
20?
You're keeping it live, you're not cutting it, right?
Yeah, I'm just keeping them alive, right? Normally in February, they'd be a little lethargic still, so if you had white bait, you might cut the tail, try and slow them down a little bit, because the water temp wouldn't be this warm. I had 2 redfish today come out of the water to eat it. I watched them eat it, and they came out of the water to crush the greenback. I'm like, oh, yeah, water temps are up. They're a little
What was your water temp today?
I don't know.
I was
My
marking
temp gauge is broke, but it's warm.
I was marking 72 on the way back in today.
I mean, there's Spanish mackerel here.
We had
It's
some
February.
nice king mackerel today, cobia.
It's crazy.
Makes me sure.
Yeah, it's really unusual. It's really crazy warm out there. And you almost got to fish like it's closer to May.
It is.
I mean, it's what you have to fish like it's closer to May.
Hey, Mike, you hearing anything about the big black drum coming in?
I've heard that they were here 2 or 3 different times. A couple guys got on them, but then they didn't stay put. So I haven't even gone. The redfish bite's been so good.
Yeah.
To me, the big black drum are just, I mean, they're great if you got nothing really else going on or I got a
Yeah.
kid. But, I'd rather go catch this redfish than this black drum.
They were here a week ago, and we got on one day, and then was talking with, trying to remember who it was, said there was a bunch of boats on them, they dropped off the edge of that bar, and I don't think they've been back. I don't know, have you seen them out there?
They're not,
They left?
yeah, I was out there today.
Right.
They're out there.
Don't know where they went. They might have, I mean, as warm as the water
Yeah,
is,
so
they
warm.
may have dropped off and boogied on back out offshore. They may have ran up to the Gandy, you know?
Well, they don't stay that long.
No, well, last
I mean,
year,
we've had them longer than we had them this year.
yeah, I mean, last year they were there, what, about a month and a
Yeah,
half?
I mean, you know,
Or year before last.
sometimes they show up real early. I mean, I've seen them in there in December. So this year, I think I went and looked for them one time. You know, the redfish got here so early. Big schools of breeder redfish are running everywhere. I probably saw 300 redfish. It was unbelievable. And no boats.
That's what's unbelievable.
Dude, it was awesome.
That's the unbelievable part. You didn't have any company.
I didn't even say anything the whole time I was out there.
They want to jinx it.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone. Why don't
He's like that dude on
I'm
set.
invisible. I thought maybe the world ended.
Right?
I really did. I thought it might have been a nuclear holocaust and it just missed us. Because
There you go.
I've been here for 3.5 hours catching redfish and I haven't seen a boat.
That's good stuff.
We may be the last 3 living people on the planet.
Who cares? We got all these redfish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Somebody else have a question? Yeah, buddy.
I got a question for people who don't have boats over like around here. What place around here is good to catch these trout?
Let's try, right over here, Simmons Park. You can park, walk that north canal.
Big
That's
old
about it. You can get out and wade around and, you might have to swim a part of that little canal. I don't know how deep. Well, no, you can walk out and around and you can hit that flat out there and walk from there to Apollo Beach. And there's some big trout.
What type of like lures would be good for us?
I like that Paul Brown, that Mirror Little Paul Brown. I carry one of those. I would carry,
The way they're eating white bait, I'd throw that Mirrodine.
yeah, that's a good bait.
Worked really good down in Charlotte Harbor for me on Tuesday. Really good. I mean, that's what they're eating. So I would throw it. The other thing you might want to do is go down to Fort DeSoto, work South Beach, run all the way to Fort DeSoto till it ends. You got to make a decision, or go straight and crash your vehicle into the water. I would go left, not crash your vehicle, go left and park and walk that whole thing out there. And you can make a decision real quick. When you walk out there, just stop at the edge of the water and look around. Spend 10 minutes looking at it. If you see this mullet, go fishing. If you don't see that mullet, get back in your car and go somewhere else. Seriously. Because if that mullet is there, the trout to win that tournament is on that flat.
Yes.
Whether or not you catch him, I don't know, but he's on that flat.
Mike, this is the young man that went and fished the mullet and caught the 2 great big sheepshead.
Oh,
Sweet.
the sheepshead are everywhere.
22 inch and a 19 inch.
Those are tough.
Sheephead were everywhere. I was in the tower boat today in a spot, I probably saw 35 sheephead in one flat. It's unbelievable, they are everywhere. Sheephead are everywhere. A lot of sheephead. Yeah, a lot of sheephead. I went by a pothole on Tarpon Key 3 weeks ago, and there had to be 25 sheephead in one giant sandhole on the flat. It was unbelievable. I've never seen that many in one place. Catchable though, they're very catchable. More questions? Come on, rapid fire.
I'll tell you what, I'll change gears on you real quick. We did something yesterday that was pretty cool, I thought. Charlie kept me here for over 20 years, and I've maybe caught 4 or 5 of these fish on hook and line. Hog snapper or hogfish. Y'all know what I'm talking about? They're delicious. Went out with a guy and targeted them, and we were catching them on hook and line. We caught more yesterday on hook and line than I've caught in a 20-year career.
How are you catching them?
Huh?
How are you catching them?
Right in the mouth with a hook. You're not gonna get them anyway. I'll tell Holly. No, what we were doing was using like a knocker rig, or a jig head, and a piece of shrimp about the size of your fingernail. And that was the ticket. It's got to be fresh shrimp too. You put a big piece of shrimp down, you get like a grouper or a big grunt. But I mean, the little pieces like that where we get pogies and hog snapper.
It's unbelievable.
It was, I mean, it was, and they fight. Oh my God, they fight. They're just a tremendous fight. And yes, they were real good for dinner tonight.
How deep was the water?
We were what, 50 foot?
55 feet.
Yeah, 55 feet. What
But we came in on a guy, we went out there, filmed the show, we came in, there was a friend of the guy we were filming with in about 25 foot of water. They
And
caught
he was
8
getting
of
them.
So they're out there. I'll tell you what's happening too, and it's interesting that this hogfish thing is kind of taken off, but not so surprising if you think about it. The government taking away our grouper for no reason and
Yeah.
beating us up on the American red snapper, and the fisherman is out there going, oh, hogfish tastes good. How about we figure out how to catch these fools?
Yeah,
That's exactly what happened. But the rednecks all got together and said, we'll catch something else.
that's it.
Redneck gonna eat.
That's it. We could have got Ben locked a long time ago if they just told all us rednecks that, you know, he was responsible for killing Dale Earnhardt and he's gonna ban Budweiser, you know, that he'd been dead a long time ago.
But it's interesting because there's a lot more people doing it now. So I
It is.
talked to a guy today that catches them this big inside the bed.
And bro, I tell you what, they are good.
Inside the bed.
They are so
They are
delicious.
tasty. Oh my gosh.
And trust me, he didn't tell me where, and if he did, I wouldn't share with him.
They are that good. Our camera
Somewhere out
guy,
there.
Ben
Somewhere
Bateman,
around there.
he would go to, after we're done filming, Ben would go over with the spear gun into the hoop of death and go get our dinner. And he would give us the hogs, he'd give us some hog snapper, but if he shot a scam, he's like, no, love you guys, but not that much. Because those are real good, but that hog snapper, bro, oh God, it's just milky white meat, just,
Very
delicious.
Cool, very cool stuff. What else we catching? Questions? Yes, sir.
I'm one step behind the beginner.
Okay.
And have a boat, and I go out of BG7.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to go fish for sheepshead.
Yep.
Where would I go out to that?
I'll tell you what
Where would I go and how would I fish for?
I'll tell you two things I would start to do. I would find your,
talk a little louder, Mike.
I would spend a little time at the marina, the Capella Beach Marina, fishing the pilings. It's a very, very good place right there, Land's End Marina. It's a really good place.
Okay, and how am I gonna fish for?
I would fish it with a jig head or a knocker rig. Take maybe a 1 ounce or 2 ounce lead, depending on how much tide you have. Put it on your leader, tie your hook to it. You want to go pretty small for the sheephead, maybe a 1 ounce, and fish them straight down the bottom.
Fish it straight down the
Straight
bottom?
down the bottom. Or, I like
Right beside the pilot.
Bahia Beach Reef is not a bad idea either.
Okay, if I were fishing there and somebody told me go fish a crab,
Yeah.
Amen? Absolutely.
go to the bottom and let it lay, come up off the
Now you
bottom,
want to sit on the bottom.
go
I would
let
sit,
it
I'd sit it on the bottom.
sit on the bottom.
I do my best, and Billy may have some different technique, Rick
I'll
Don,
put it on
everybody
the
may fish
bottom.
it different. When I fish sheephead, I go to the docks, residential canals, the oldest docks I can find, and I take a 1/4 ounce jig head, and I tail hook my shrimp. When I take a whole shrimp, I pitch it under the dock, and I have my clients just hold the line tight. Don't drag it, let it sit. When you feel him whacking. And you better get it, because you don't get a whole lot of time.
When you get him, you better get him
But
quick.
I've had 20 fish days on the docks, straight sheephead.
What about going up to the railroad bridge up Little Manatee River?
I don't know. I mean,
I had never fished sheephead up there. Have you, Ray?
What's that?
Fished for sheephead up there at the trust? On the river? In the Manatee, Little Manatee.
Yeah, years ago.
Bridge on the Little Manatee.
I would say, I would stick to your residential canal.
I'll tell you what,
docks, things like that.
What do you think the Bahia Reef?
The reef is great. You can get out on some rock piles. There's
Yeah.
guys out there in
Yeah,
20
if you
foot
can
of
find
water.
you a little rock pile, the thing about Bahia Reef is it's a well-known spot and it just gets the tar beat out of it. Try and find you a piece. So there's plenty of little wrecks out here in the bay
I'll tell you a great,
and rock piles
I'll
and all
tell you
that
a great
stuff.
little secret. Come out of the Port Manatee channel, okay? And don't go all the way to the main channel. And just hook a right and come back up and zigzag back and forth. And before you get to Cockroach, I bet you dollars to dollars you can come up with 10 rock piles on
Yeah.
the machine.
And
That ain't on a map, and they'll be good rock piles.
A good way to find those two is wait till it's a day when the wind's not blowing and you've got a low incoming tide, and you'll see the rips where it comes up on those rock piles because it'll go from like 20 feet up to 11 feet. And when that water, hits it, it ramps it up and you can just see it right on the surface. But if it's choppy, you won't
Go
see
over with
it.
your bottom machine and
Just
just,
motor down to Port Manatee, okay?
or you do it either way. You can do it from the channel out. Get out there just on the inside,
See
on
what
this side of the
happens?
shipping channel.
They dump a lot of stuff out there that's not marked.
You be surprised how many pieces of rock pile you'll find in Tampa Bay that people don't fish.
And there's big grouper on them too, bro.
Put a shrimp on it and go through.
Quarter ounce chicken. Now, the quarter ounce chicken is only gonna work if your tide's not really ripping. I'm fishing residential canals in 8 to 10 foot water. If you're fishing out there, you may have to go to a 1 ounce or bigger lead and knocker rig it. Just depends on what you're fishing, but that's exactly how I'm fishing. We caught them, we fished yesterday and caught grouper on them, on the knocker rigs,
Grouper, snapper,
porgies, snapper.
pogies.
We caught 60 fish. No, they're not stupid questions at all.
What is a knocker?
That's what I told you. You take an egg sinker, a 1 ounce, whatever size you want. You tie it right to your leader. Before you put your hook on, you just shove it on the leader.
Right.
So it's not like a grouper rig where you have it.
It's
up
like
above
Texas
like
rigging for, you know how to Texas rig for bass fishing? Okay.
Kind of like that. All you do is get you some egg sinkers, run over 2 South Shore bait tags, get you some egg sinkers, put it on your leader, and then you put your hook on it.
Right.
So the egg sinker sits right on top of your hook. Sits right on top
Yeah, it
of
just
your hook.
slides right
When
up.
it sits on the bottom, they call it a knocker rig because when it sits on the bottom and the boat goes in the wake, it's knocking on the bottom. So they call it a knocker.
And I tell you, Mike was talking about those residential canals. Did you say you're from Apollo Beach? You know where Andalusia is? Andalusia, right there on Balhart. You know
Big
where
fancy
Circles
houses
is?
on the end, right there when you go to Apollo Beach.
Yeah.
The big fancy house on your right, that's all in the sea island.
Yeah, there's docks. They got like a community dock down there. I was down there fishing the other day. There were some guys just walking up and down the docks, and they were using fiddler crabs. And we sat there and watched them catch about a dozen sheephead just walking down the dock, doing that. A good tip for you though, before you go out, if you want to catch sheephead, there's 2 good things you can do. Is you can scrape you a bucket and get some barnacles in it and oysters right off of the seawall and throw that in and chum it. Another good thing if you're going to fish with shrimp, take it up and cut you a bunch of pieces of shrimp. Shrimp. Cut it up into little pieces like this. That egg sinker that he was telling you to make that knocker rig, put that shrimp in a paper bag like where you put your beer in a paper bag, put them in that and tape it around your line. Send it to the bottom and let it sit for a minute so that bag gets wet, and then just take it and go like this to bust that bag. And what it'll do is it'll put out that shrimp right down there on the bottom where you're fishing at. And that scent, they get them, and if they're like from me to you away, that scent will draw them. It'll kind of help concentrate them right there.
Okay, and where was this again that you were talking about?
Apollo Beach, Andalusia docks.
You ever go to Circles? All right, well, when you stand on the end of the dock Circles, look this way, and you'll see those docks that are on your right. There's a bunch of boats there. Those are the docks right there.
Okay.
Land that in.
Yeah, right there in Land's End's good.
You'll get it.
There's a lot of them.
That North Canal holding, they stay right now.
And this time of year, the sheep are there because it just.
Hey, he just said North Canal right here at Simmons Park's holding.
Yep, there's all oyster bed along that far end around those mangroves. And our Ranger Paul over there is a friend of mine, and he pulled a 6-pounder out last week.
Nice.
So you can.
They're
fish
tasty too,
inside
bro.
the house there and E.G. Simmons, sheepshead also, same way with that you
I
got.
would, yeah. You can do it over there, the turnaround canals, over the power plant. You fish those as well. Same way, you have all that oyster, shoreline, all that, crustaceans and all that, you fish the exact same way.
Would you stay, say, like E.G. Simmons, would you stay out towards the deeper part of the water to make it?
Fishing boat, so you kind of get a feel for where they are. Probably depends on where your tide is. If the tide is real low, they're not gonna be up high on that, on that edge, because they can't get them.
And as clear as the water is right now in these canals and stuff, you can ride along, you'll see them. Somebody else got a question?
Those trout that you're fishing, incoming, outgoing?
Just so it's moving.
As long as it's moving.
As long as there's some spots that are a bit like that clam bar I was telling you about, I like that better on an outgoing.
Most of the deep water stuff for me has been either or, as long as it's moving. I went deep water trout fishing this morning and whoo! I was thinking about taking up golf.
Well, you didn't have any tide,
I
right?
had no tide moving. The water wasn't moving. It was my fear, and it proved to be true.
But now the offshore, I mean, I was chumming out there just off the beach, and I mean, I was chopping up some stuff, you could just watch it go straight down. But the offshore bite was a lot better. I mean, we caught a bunch of grouper today. And it's a shame that we caught, I guess they didn't get the memo that they're not supposed to be there. But there's some nice kingfish out there, Spanish mackerel.
So the kings are in now?
Yeah.
They're not here
Not
thick.
thick, but they're there. We had a school
There's
about
bait-
20
there's bait on-
covey
there's
come
bait
out
on
of
the
boat.
beach. Big bait schools on the beach. Big bait schools in front of the Skyway Bridge this morning when I was running to get bait.
How could you see them, bro?
It's a little thick. More
Yes, sir.
questions?
Tons of juvenile flounder, shallow. Anything bigger out where you guys are fishing?
We've heard rumors that there's some big fish out deep offshore.
The
There's a
wire
lot of
showed a
fun.
picture. I got a picture of one of his on one of his trips. That was
Right.
storm had.
The guys we fished with
Yeah.
yesterday were gonna take us to do that if the hogfish didn't work out, but the hogfish worked out, and so we didn't need it.
You look around the Pinellas Reef, but instead of fishing right on the rock pile, the way you want to fish those is you want to get off out on that sand, because they're going to be laying on that sand. And, put a piece of white bait down there, a real good bait for them, those when you get one, cut a piece of that belly meat off of them, about the size of your finger, and just hook it in so it flutters in that current. They love that, absolutely love it.
I pulled a ton of small ones off the boat ramp at Simmons Park on a windy day when I couldn't get out. And just little white
remember you
John
telling me.
pearl with the red when I called it.
Yeah.
Just wrangle on the bottom, every other cast.
They're fun, bro. I tell you, they're good to eat, bro.
Oh,
We
yeah.
caught one today. It wasn't very big, 15, 16 inches.
He was saying, Captain Larry McGuire sent pictures out last week.
Yeah, so
Something-
that
it looked
thing
like,
was
it looked
like,
like something that come out of the Delaware Bay when we lived up there.
yeah, it looked like it was like 8 or 9 pounds.
You gotta
is what
take
it
that,
was
Larry.
you gotta take that with a grain of salt. It's
That's
Captain
Larry.
Larry
Yeah.
McGuire. I mean,
He's a
we filmed with the guy 5 times. I tell people when they call me, they go, hey, we're looking for an offshore captain.
dude.
I'd call Larry. Well, why would you call Larry? Because we filmed 5 times with the guy. We ran 30 miles offshore and we're done by noon.
And
All
boat,
5
and his-
times.
And his boat does 18 knots.
Yeah, and he ain't in a yellowfin.
It's
He's in
a
a
sport
Morgan.
boat in China, baby.
The guy's like, super, and half the time, he's like, yeah, well, I was going to my spot over there and I saw this and I just thought we'd anchor up on it. Really?
For the first
Larry
time,
McGuire might be the fish whisperer. Seriously.
Nick,
Seriously,
first
that
time
guy's
we
a
went out
bitch.
with him, he sits there because we never know what we're gonna get until we go out with the guys. He drops down to the bottom, fishing with a 4-0, turns the thing upside down, and it's cranking backwards. I looked at Mike, I'm like, oh hell, here we go. Grouper, bro, he don't miss. I mean,
He's a beast.
winding back. I'm like, dude, why do you whine like that? He goes, oh man, I got issues.
Hey,
Great guy.
Ben Bateman, our underwater camera guy, an absolutely phenomenal offshore charter captain in his own right. We're out with Larry, fill the box. Ben goes over, does his thing, fills the hoop of death, comes back up, gets in the boat, looks at Larry and goes, Larry, it's a crack, 6 feet long, 2 feet wide. How
Right.
the hell did you anchor on it? Think about that, dude.
Oh, no,
Let's
yeah,
put a
he's right.
32-foot boat
He's-
on a 6-foot
he-
by 3-foot crack
And 4-foot seas.
in 4-foot sea.
When he did his,
He rode around for 20 minutes. I'm trying to talk to him, and he just let me like, shut up, man. He's like, I'm not being rude, but I really got to concentrate here. He's got 2 GPSs going and a bottom machine.
He is a witch.
And he said, I mean, it honestly, I swear to God, it took him 25 to 30 minutes to get that boat around to where he wanted his mate to drop the hook. He drives like, no, this isn't it, this isn't it. Oh, there we are, let it go. And man, when he said tie it, we were right dead
He's
nuts
right,
on
he's
it.
right on it.
Right dead
It's-
nuts on it.
It's silly. I got trouble doing that in 20-foot of water in the bank. This guy's doing it in 80-foot of water.
What are you talking about?
I can't get the power pole to put me on the sand hole I want to be.
Speaking of power pole, have y'all heard about the new toy? They got a 10-foot blade now. A 10-foot power pole.
Captain Mike's boat's gonna have it.
Yeah, we're getting the yellowfin. He's gonna have 2. He's gonna have 2 on his 24 10-foot power pole.
Keep it manatees in deep water.
That's it.
They
baby.
have on their website, they have a duck commercial for duck hunters to use the power pole.
Right.
The ducks won't hear it, but they may be a little bit scared by all the gunshot.
There you go.
It's really cool, and it's all you do them with one remote. Before you had to have 2 switches, 2 different remotes, one for each power pole. Now he's got it, if you turn it this way, it works this remote, if you turn it that way, it works that remote. all our works, it's all,
Don't give that bill.
it's silly.
I got
Yeah.
me.
I need one that's about, I need a 60-foot power pole.
Telescopic.
You know what? Yeah, right.
John
I tell you,
Oliveira's done a nice job of that. A really
that
nice
thing, the
job.
way John Oliveira came up with that, he had a hydro sport with a half tower in it. We'd be fishing redfish, he'd be up in his tower. And by the time he could get out of the tower and down and slide the anchor in, he'd already drifted over. So he's like, there's gotta be a way to stop this boat, gotta be a way to stop this boat. And that, they say necessity is the mother of invention. And that's why he came up with that.
You know how bad it is too? It's gotten so bad that the charter captain is so lazy that when I leave my remote in the truck, I feel like stark naked.
Oh, yeah.
I swear to God, I was like that today. I was like, there they are. Oh shit.
I got to Mr. Bo, I got to take a step back.
That's how bad it is. That's how bad it
30
is.
feet, there you go.
It's
All
terrible.
you do is, Sean, hit the power pole. Sean, hit the power pole.
Exactly.
You know, the one thing I love about Tarpon is the fact that it's locally grown,
Yeah.
and he employs a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Full time.
And the money stays here in the community.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
love
what I'm
that.
saying? That's what I mean, like South Shore Bait and Tackle, you might pay 75 cents more than you will at Wally World, but that money stays right, yeah.
Dude, here's the best part about Tarpon. Not only is it homegrown, but a company like Johnson Outdoors, as big as they are, Hummingbird, Minn Kota, Talon,
They wanted to buy it.
and that company can't come up with anything close. They brought to market that thing compared to what, and Minn Kota makes a great drone motor. They make good
They need to go back
electronics.
to, I'll say it, they need to go back to the
That
drawing
Talon,
board with that
man,
Talon.
that-
It's clunky. I mean, it goes,
I don't even let you call the radio show and say that word, because it's a cuss word. The FCC will come down on me.
what you got, brother?
Best part about it is, you break it, next day in the mail, you got a free pole.
Dude, there's
Yeah, I'll say
I-
that, my power pole, when they looked at the serial number, my power pole was one of the first year they were out, which was how
He
long
warned
ago?
you, he warned you.
Yeah, I snapped the
shell
stick. Last year at the trout tournament, I snapped the stick, and the power pole guy was there. I said, hey, I just snapped my stick. He said, where do you live? I said, Lakeland. He said, can you get to Tampa? I said, yeah, no problem. He said, be there in the morning. Get there in the morning, brand new one. He goes, anything else?
It's the real deal.
Do not put your remote in your front pocket. I put my remote in the front pocket, driving down the road, some guy comes along, beeps, goes, I turn around and look, seatbelt's in it. Swear to God, concrete ground that pole, I now had a foot and a half.
Stop your truck?
I had a 1.5 foot power pole.
You mean it didn't stop your truck?
I called the guy up Monday morning. I said, hey, you want me to send you the 1 foot piece? He said, no, I'll send you the new power pole in the mail.
I tell you, like the third or fourth one he made, I was fishing for Ranger and Mercury at the time.
You do.
And he brought one down, and we took it out and stuck that pole in sand, mud, and rocks. We were trying to rip. I had a 250 on the back of it, and we figured that if we couldn't rip that pole off with that, nothing would do it. And we spent, I guess, 2 or 3 hours trying to tear it off the back of my boat, and it didn't
What was
break.
that one that I seen, the advertisement of him with dual power poles on there, like 80 mile an hour, trying to set them and sticking them both in the
No,
water at the
that
same
wasn't my
time?
boat.
No, not on yours. I caught bait at the bridge one day, and I lowered my power pole down, throw the net, so I don't have to throw it over. Got done catching bait, cleaned the boat up, and went all the way from the Skyway to Rattlesnake Point with the power pole all the way down at 40 knots.
Throwing a nice rooster tail.
Never looked back. Don't know. I got there, there was some tarpon over there at the time, and I slowed down and was just gonna drift in and look to see if I seen any fish rolling. No, the guy says, we fishing here, and I said, well, we might. I said, I'm gonna see if I see anything rolling. Why? He goes, well, I noticed you dropped the power pole. I hit the button thinking it was gone, and she came right up.
You ever done that with your trolling motor?
No.
Leave it down and take off. Oh, I've done that before.
I was at O'Neill's and set the power pole tied off the front end because it was windy, and then it was summertime, so it was hot, so I got the air running the whole 9 yards, pull it up on the trailer, roll out, there's like 5 guys yelling at me, ah! I'm like, what? Like, hey dude, your power pole's down. I'm like, great. I pulled it out of the water and the power pole still worked. Pulled it out of the water, drug it up the boat ramp the whole 9 yards.
This is the crazy part.
Looks good
If
on
you
that
think
truck.
he's big here, y'all look in Japan and China and see how big they are.
Really?
Dude, it is absolutely insane. His
Well, the
largest growing market is in Japan.
Go figure.
I didn't even know they fished.
Where do you,
that way.
in the States, what state sells the second most? After Florida, what state sells the
Probably
most?
Texas.
Arkansas.
Ohio.
I guess bass,
That's exactly the look I got, Ohio.
yeah, I guess bass fishing, smallmouth fishing, all that, they fish a lot of rock piles and
And I guess,
stuff like that.
and I guess there are duck hunters that are using it to duck hunt.
Makes sense.
Why not?
More questions on fishing? Yes, sir.
I hear there was quite a few trout. Again, you just sent it in the canals. How do you fish them there?
Same way. Quarter ounce jig head, make sure you get to the bottom with the whole water column.
Okay, what about trout?
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing.
Quarter ounce jig head, pick whatever color tail you want. I like white.
You just go to the
Like a chartreuse head, make sure you bounce to the bottom, cover the whole water column. It isn't very
How
cold,
do you catch trout?
so a lot of the canal fish are coming out front.
okay, going out into.
A lot of them were pushed out onto the flats or in the 6 foot water on the grass where the bait is. The fish didn't really power into the canals this year. I mean, we had some canal fish, but not like in years past because it's been so cold. Normally it's cold, this year it's been so wet. So we didn't get the canal bite that we normally get. I mean, I'm sure they plowed into some canals thinking it was gonna get cold, but not like it normally is. Normally you can canal fish for months.
You're going out on the flat.
Yes, fishing deep water grass and shallow water grass.
With all the bait in the warm water, any word on tarpon?
Do what?
I can tell
Tarpon?
you, I can tell you,
Tarpon, they're down, there's a couple been caught down at Captiva.
I can tell you this, and very, very, very good tarpon fishermen down on the south end of the bay. I watched them today, and they were teed up looking for floaters, and they're looking for floaters for a reason, because they're down. I guarantee you
I
they're.
had heard some reports that
Yeah.
there were some rollers down at the,
Tyler Capella is an absolute beast. He's a young kid who's going to be phenomenal. I mean, he is really, really a good fisherman, and he screwed up today. He gave me a secret a couple weeks ago of where they were gonna be, and we're gonna go film a show with him when they get here. And I watched him and the buddies sit there looking today. I'm like, he ain't out there holding that rod in his hand for no reason. That thing's just laid up already.
John Paiva jumped one last week, Apollo Beach, over by the power plant, about 75 pounds.
That's a resident
Yeah.
fish. Those fish that are coming in.
Yeah, they're resident fish, they're
Fish that are
around the
coming
power
in down
plant.
here.
You can go there to the Manatee Walk and look over the discharge and see them
What do
rolling.
you think,
over
another
there.
2 weeks they'll be infected?
I don't know if they'll be thick in 2 weeks, but they're well on their way. There's just no doubt about it.
Yes, sir.
There ain't no tarpon around.
Oh, okay, don't worry about it.
Now, when y'all are fishing for trout, do you prefer monofilament or braided line?
I like braided, I use the spider wire Invisibraid, 15-pound test, and then about that much of 4 carbon leader.
You got a soft tip rod?
Yeah.
Because I know they got a soft mouth.
You gotta get a fast tip rod, it's rated for, I think mine are rated for like 8 and 12-pound test. It's just a real fast tip one, I like a super fast tip.
That spider wire Invisibraid is absolutely ridiculous.
It's
Those of you
white.
that haven't tried it, stuck on your Power Pro, your fins, all that other stuff, I'm telling you, you will absolutely freak out.
That, it's white so you can see it real well, but when it gets in the water, it's translucent.
Tensile strength, tie ability, the wind knots are fewer. There's a reason it costs more money, and it's worth it. Just like good whiskey. Good whiskey costs money.
Cheap stuff on my reels.
That's it.
That stuff is really good. Billy and I, we've told the story 100 times. We used to be Power Pro. I went into Fisherman's World, and Matt up there's like, you two are idiots. Like, talk to me. And we went through the whole thing top to bottom, and that stuff ain't no joke.
Do they have, is there a stretch in that line? Or
No.
No,
solid?
no, it's right now. That's why I tell my clients, do not set the hook.
65-pound last year in Boca Grande for 2 months straight. I fished it every day with crabs and never lost a single fish due to line breakage. Never one. I had one break off, and I watched that fish jump up and land on the line. And he broke it landing on it. I never lost one fish, dude. I lost a couple that wore through the leader because my clients wouldn't get on them, and but I didn't have any failure due to my braid.
How many
which is
times did you
incredible.
re-spool
And I
your braid?
Well, I didn't re-spool my braid all that often. Not last year, maybe twice
Got it.
all year. That braid
That's
lasts
just
a
because
long
you got
time.
low, right?
Yeah, and a lot of times clients will
wind
reel
knots.
against the drag. If you reel against the drag, they'll spin it up on you, and pretty soon you're losing distance, and it gets a little crazy. But if you take care of your own tackle, that's the stuff to put on. It's the real
It
deal.
will last.
I have the same stuff on. I'm fishing with we got our new stuff in from Penn, And I haven't had a chance. We've just been slammed here lately fishing and filming and everything going on, getting ready for the expo. I haven't had a chance to bring my new stuff out. I'm still using the stuff that I spooled up last February, and it's still got the same line on it. And I know this is hard to believe, I'm fishing more than you guys are. And I
Believe it
still
or not.
didn't have to re-spool these. So that's pretty impressive. And it's not all beat up or wore out. It's some good line.
It's easy to tie.
It's really easy
Yeah.
to tie.
It's not much easier to tie than power.
Yeah.
What kind of pin reels?
Battles. I love the new battles. I think personally the Penn Conquer, I don't truly, and we're Penn
I don't
guys.
care for that one.
I just don't think it's a $200 reel. The Penn Battle for $99, I don't think there's a better value in the market. I'm using the same battles I used last February. I used them today, catching oversized redfish and never blinked. I had not one failure on a reel last year with my battles, not one.
I'm using the slammers, and they retail, I think, around 129. And then after the performance that he had out of the battles, and the guys at the tackle shops say, man, we're sending the battles out. They never come back. We're not having problems with them. That slammer is heavy. It's just like a coffee grinder. It's just bulletproof. You're not going to wear it out. It's a great charter reel. But the reports getting off of those battles, I didn't order any slammers this year. I ordered all battles because they are holding up. They're doing a good job.
Are those battles pretty light? Because usually
Yeah.
the pins are traditionally pretty
Yeah, they're
heavy.
light. They're light. They're light.
They're pretty good for artificial.
They're great.
Yeah, and I mean,
3,000. I use all 3,000s for my trout reels.
What, $89?
Works great.
Retail's $89, $99.
$99, something like that. Can't beat them. They're really holding up well. They did a good job. They took the Sargus, the inside of the Sargus, and they had really good success with the Sargus. And they upgraded all the outside of the battles and made them all pretty. And so it's the guts from the Sargus and made them all pretty and sexy and charging extra.
They are sexy.
It's good stuff.
You know you're getting old when you say, man, that reel's sexy.
More questions?
What are you using offshore? Real wise?
Using the battles, using those and the slammers offshore on the conventionals, using the 4-aught, the 113Hs, and the 114 6-aughts.
They
And
have
I
some-
just ordered some 550s.
They got a new line of reels out called the Squalls, and I got them, but I haven't tried them yet. So we'll give you a report here soon on those.
Those are supposed to be pretty good.
It's supposed to be really good. Lever drag, that's why I ordered them. I'm gonna try and see if I can mess them up.
It's supposed to compete with the TLD, the TLD Shimano
Use those
lever drag.
torque, those black ones, those torque with the star graphs.
I have.
Those are wicked. They're wicked. There you go. Yeah, I got some on the International 16s that are I like. They're pretty sweet. The cool thing about the which ones are we talking?
The torque.
The torque, yeah. You stack the washers, gives you different.
Yeah, you can do how you want your drag set.
Yeah, it does you different drag. That way on the lever, you can't
Right.
overdo it, which is pretty cool.
How do you like the new Legion rods?
Love them. Love them.
Really nice rod. Finally, it's been a while. Penn's been asleep at the wheel on the rod department. I mean, Billy and I have been spending just about every year looking for a rod sponsor, someplace to go, and finally we can quit looking because the Legions are nice.
They are nice. They came out with that, what was that Fenwick that was real nice, that Coastal Series?
Yeah.
That the big 9-footers and stuff?
Inshore.
Yeah, the inshore, yeah, I like those a whole lot, but they made them for 1 year or 2 years and then discontinued them because the price point on them was like right at $300. Let's face it, nobody's going. But that's where it was. And so they discontinued that, and then the rod selection kind of went. But now that Legion, they hit a home run with that.
Yeah.
Absolute home run.
Yeah, we did use it.
It's just
More
it's
questions?
sick.
It's a quiet bunch.
Who's gonna win the tournament? She was up for, there you go.
I haven't been to the Skyway in a while. What has happened with them knocking down,
That one span?
that east span?
It hasn't changed the bait any.
No?
No, they're done with the east, with the, this side, the south side right now. I didn't see any barge or anything out there right
They're
now.
not done, but it's not a lot of there yet.
leaving.
Yeah. That might be,
The only good thing I can say about that is a buddy of mine, he was looking at having to move to Miami. He's engineer construction. And the only good thing I can say about it is this company got that job and he got to stay here. That's, didn't lose my buddy. So
but it's a company right out of Tallahassee. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Weird.
Have you had,
Yeah.
have you had luck, if you find a school of trout, have you had luck on the edges finding bigger trout?
I'll tell you what I saw. This is the God's honest truth. I saw a school of trout that were all 20 plus in 2 foot of water. Rob Gordon and I both saw them. A whole entire school. I've never seen them that tight and that many in one place at one time. Unbelievable.
So like size just staying together?
Yeah. It looked like, I mean,
it likes
looked like
fish
redfish school
tank.
going by the boat, except it was all trout. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Well, I know that Jay-Z and I went, it's been a month,
I can't tell you that, I have to kill you.
over a month.
Was ever around
Holly
Southern
made me
Terror.
tell her so I could keep my golf cart.
Probably got the inside track.
I have a really beautiful Reef backer golf cart. Therefore, I might have to share some trade secrets with the Marlos.
LED lights and sound system is better than most cars.
It's better than one in my car.
Dude, I tell you, I tool around Apollo Beach everywhere, on my grocery store, everywhere.
It's all one inside all over.
And if you,
I put Ron's golf carts on mine, I didn't Billy's. I feel like a better around this.
That was probably a good idea.
have you
Sales
seen,
are down this month, what's going on?
have you seen the price of gas? Golf cart comes in handy.
I'm cheap, but I'll drive that thing to Winn-Dixie in a minute.
More questions, anybody? Everybody coming out to the expo this weekend?
Yeah.
See you there. Hey, remember this.
Y'all come Friday, I'll pay for everybody's ticket on Friday morning.
Get there and mention real animals, you get it free.
What's that?
Get in Friday, if you mention real animals, you get it free.
That's right.
Parking, can't do that.
Or you'll get arrested, but definitely one of the two.
Michael, who else? I know you guys are having CA. You're
We
doing,
got-
you guys are supposed to do 7 seminars,
We
I
got
believe.
seven seminars, 2 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. We've got CA joining us. We've got Mark Nichols from DOA. We've got Eric Bachnick from Mirror, and we have the legend Mike Mahoney joining us.
No way.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get Mahoney.
When is he doing it?
I don't know yet. We'll
He hadn't told us.
Yeah,
Oh, I got to rag him tomorrow.
yeah, he's coming to do one. So
Heckling not in
the last thing y'all need is to hear us tonight and then 7 times. So what happened there was the WFN stage wanted, we just started airing on World Fishing Network. So they wanted us up there a bunch on their stage. So we're gonna bring some people up there and we can do some chit chat.
Did you say Bright House picked them up?
Bright House, it is on
Yeah, it's on Bright House.
It is. We got
It's a Verizon Files channel as well. You can get it on Verizon Files.
Yeah, and I got rid of both of them and got.
But y'all are going to have to pretty up with the HD.
Do what?
Y'all going to have to pretty up with the HD.
Yeah, HD ain't helping
There ain't
us.
enough makeup out there to bring it to them.
Back up to Cleveland.
This is face for radio, baby.
I got LASIK, I'm gonna have to put my glasses back on.
We held up them 2 hogfish and in HD, but it's gonna look like 4 of them. It's not gonna be good.
Are you guys gonna start shooting in HD?
We are.
We are.
Everything's in HD. The nice part about the WFN deal, God bless them, finally getting it done, was that you gotta shoot in HD.
Yeah, they wouldn't
They
accept
take it. And it actually, we've been bagging and bagging and bagging. We had 26 episodes that WFN bought about 3 years ago. I met Corey Russell out at ICAST. So we kind of were lucky enough to get in the first time, and then I've been kicking them and kicking them and shoving them and shoving them. And luckily for us, Bright House picked them up, and it worked out really good. So they picked us up because Bright House was pretty sure that that would work well for them in this market. So they kind of gave it a push through. And then when they sent the paperwork, I'm like, hey, did you happen to read the rules? It's got to be in HD. And they went, oh shit. I went crazy and got everything done. So, but the bad news is
Nothing like a fire to get people jumping.
we are pretty ugly in HD. There ain't no
So are your new episodes going to be on WFN or are they going to be on Saturday morning?
everything.
Everywhere.
It'll air.
It'll be
It's
HD
gonna
everywhere.
everything. Yeah. What they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to take all the old episodes, which is gonna take some time, but they're gonna have to reformat them because we air 52 weeks a year. most shows don't. They're gonna have to reformat that stuff. There's a way that they can reformat it. When you see it again, it'll have bars on the sides. They reformat it in some other.
That's so Mike feels at home.
Yeah. So y'all gotta take acting classes or?
No, no. What you see is what you get, the real moron.
Yeah, we're kind of untrainable.
That's all you get.
Anybody else got a fishing question?
What kind of knot are you using to tie your fluorocarbon to your spider line?
Probably isn't any line here, is there? I should.
Double uni knot.
You can use that. I actually tie a surgeon's knot, and I never have any issues with it. I room with Hageman and Goodwin down in Boca Grande, and they take their shoe off and tie a bimini around their toe and around this ear, and I'm like, I just tie a surgeon's knot. Still catch the same amount of tarpon and never lose one, so I don't know what the deal is.
Billy, what was that knot you tied?
Surgeon's knot.
Which one?
With the leader to
Take
the
the two
hook.
lines,
The leader to the
lay
hook.
it on one another.
Yeah.
It's just a long line knot.
Make it
That was,
look
I can't remember how you tied it, it was like so simple.
And you go around your finger the line twice and then bring it back through, cinch it
Screw the
down.
loop 3 times.
Yeah.
Pull it tight.
You showed me that, that was.
Yeah, it's closest thing to 100% knot because the line doesn't lay on itself.
Right.
And then two, you can just slide it up. When you cinch it down, you still back it off and fish it as a loop knot.
Every now and then I
When
get a
the
while,
fish
I
hits
do
it,
the double uni just to make
pops
It
it
took me
tight.
like literally 5 seconds to tie it.
Yeah, it's a way of being blind and in denial to where I won't be eating glasses yet. It works though. It works.
Part of the key to that is to lose distance. When you do that, you need to keep that a little shorter. You're tying a little shorter because you should never bring that up into your top. Never bring that up that far.
I just don't know the names.
I was looking
I
at
know what to tie and how to tie them.
Billy always catches first.
I tie a
Billy tells his leaders this big.
I use loop knot. When I tie my stuff, if I have my own,
Bring some line with you. Show me that knot.
7 wraps,
Bring some line
back through, boom.
You and I are fishing the same thing. That's an Albright. Albright in a loop. That's all I know.
That's it. Those are the only two. It works. Only two. I use a loop.
We're opening one tomorrow.